Welcome back everyone, hope you're having an awesome day, and today we're going to go through our main character and Solgaleo sync grid guide. We're going to go through his kit, we're going to go through how to unlock him and maxing out, and also a couple of sync grids to utilize the power of the sun and do as much damage as possible. Timestamps down below if you want to skip to anywhere in particular. Without further ado, let's get into it. So firstly, how do we unlock him? Well, it's quite simple. We go to our main story, we go down to our legendary adventures, and we do the beast that devours the sun. If we complete all of the missions in this area, we're going to get him 20 out of 20, 5 out of 5, get him to 6-star EX with his special champion spirit, so don't use your normal ones for those. And also get the crystal to increase his sync grid and get a couple of extra nodes on there, which is going to come in very handy. And for his themes, well, he's only got 3 of them. They are pretty important for some of the events, especially the new region tag here. So Steel, main character, and Passio. So if you need any of those for some events, make sure to utilize this. And in terms of his kit, because he's a striker unit, a lot of big damaging moves here. And on top of that, he does have the tech EX roll. So if you do use him as a 6-star sync nuke striker, which you should be doing, you can get him 6-star for free. I don't know why you want to be utilizing that. Big damage on his sync move to do as much damage as possible. So first off, we've got Metal Claw, a single target 1 gauge move that has a 10% chance of raising your attack by 1 stat rank. This is completely useless. Bright as the Sun is going to max out your attack. As far as I'm concerned, this isn't even on the kit. Sunsteel Strike, a 3 gauge single target move that will ignore passive skills that would reduce the damage of this attack. So even if they have like, reflect up, it's not going to matter. You're going to break through that and do as much damage as possible anyway. Ignores passive skills that would protect the target against a critical hit. So even if they have vigilance, we'll ignore that. And we'll also ignore the target's enduring effect. So if they have enduring, usually if you hit them with a move, they will hold on by the skin of their teeth, 1 health left, and then you'll lose the enduring effect. Sunsteel Strike goes right through it. We burn through that through the purifying power of the sun. Bright as the Sun has 2 uses and costs 3 gauge to use, but if you do that, it's going to raise your attack, your special attack, and accuracy by 3 stat ranks. And you can use it twice, so you're going to max out your attack, max out your special attack, max out your accuracy, making sure you can hit them hard and hit them every time. And Focus Blast is a special move, 3 gauge single target. If you want to use him as like a fighting type striker, you can. There are other better units, but if you do need the type coverage, Focus Blast can come in handy. Also has a 10% chance of lowering the target's special defense, so just kind of passively lowering their special defense while you're hitting him with some big damaging moves is never a bad option. And for his sync move, Shining Friendship Sunray Smash, say that 5 times real fast. Basically, you'll get him to 6-star anyway, so it's going to hit everyone on the team. Big damaging move, and as you can see with the EX roll, its power increases to 450, a whopping big damage move with your sync move here. Make sure you get that tech cake on him. It is very important to just completely obliterate the opposition. For his passive skills, he's only got 1. It's not super helpful, but I suppose if you look at it this way, if they try to lower your attack, it's not that big of a deal. That's why, as I said, Metal Claw is useless. Impervious, stats can't be lowered, so if they try to lower your accuracy, your speed, your defenses, anything like that, won't matter. You just completely block that, keep all of your stats raised, and if you do up it with any other defenses from other units, he won't lose any stats. So very handy to keep all your stats up, get as much damage out as possible. And for his lucky skill, Critical Strike 2 is the way to go. Even with his specific lucky cookie, I think Critical Strike 2 was a much better pickup. It's just going to do more damage with your sync move, more damage with your Sunsteel Strike, more damage with your Focus Blast over time. Whereas with Strong Start 2, while it is pretty decent, it's only at the start of battle. You get a +2 on your physical moves and your special moves next, which means your Sunsteel Strike and your Focus Blast can do a lot of damage the first time you use it. After that, you get no extra bonuses. Over time, Critical Strike 2 is going to net you more damage, especially when you start using your sync move. For his sync grids, we've got 2 different grids here. So first off is what I'm going to call the Sunsteel Syncer build, focusing on Sunsteel Strike and a lot of extra sync move damage bonuses here. So obviously, your sync move damage bonuses, pretty stock standard in a sync nuke build. Sunsteel Strike move gauge refresh, it is a 3 gauge move, so make sure you can get that back since you can't up your own speed naturally. Getting that back to make sure we can keep the moves coming out is going to be really, really helpful. Bright as the Sun, critical I1, it's going to raise your crit rate by 1 stat rank whenever you use Bright as the Sun. So on top of increasing and maxing out all of your attack and your accuracy and your special attack, you're going to be upping your crit rate as well to make sure you can get as much damage out with your Sunsteel Strike, and hopefully utilizing that crit strike too. Haymaker, the more the user's attack is raised, the more it's going to power up the user's sync move. This is just adding extra damage onto your sync move here. Considering we can max out our attack anyway, it's an easy pickup, and it's only 5 energy. Why wouldn't you want to pick this bad boy up? Sunsteel Strike move gauge refresh again to make sure we can keep that move gauge coming back. If we get a double proc, that means we can definitely keep that move coming out. We only need to wait for 1 bar to come back. If you can up your own speed, you can maybe skip over these, but it's on the way to getting a sync move power up, so I don't know why you want to pick these up. Super duper effective too. It's going to power up moves that are super effective, so your Focus Blast and your Sunsteel Strike. if they're super effective, extra 20% damage there. Sync freebie applies free move next to the user after using its sync move. Basically, this is just guaranteed you can get that Sunsteel strike right out and keep the damage ball rolling. And then Furious Brain, since we're going to be moving up this way anyway, we get the free pickup of the special attack there. It costs no energy. Another 5 energy. The more the user's special attack is raised, the more it's going to power up your moves. Now, while this only affects your Sunsteel Strike and Focus Blast, you're still maxing out your special attack passively when you're using Bright as the Sun. So an extra just free 30% increase. I don't know why you want to pick that up. It's for all of your moves, so that does include your Sunsteel Strike as well. And if you want to use him as like a fighting type striker, you can do that. Just remember that his sync move is a physical steel, so pretty much everything that Focus Blast is going to help you with, his sync move will be useless for. So just keep that in mind, that's all. So first off, lots of Focus Blast bonuses, and on a roll 2, going to increase the chance of lowering their stat values, lowering their special defense, cracking open the shield, and hitting them with a big move there. And we want to do that because we want to be utilizing our Brain Teaser. The more the target's special defense is lowered, the more it's going to power up our moves. So as we're opening up their defenses, we're going to be doing more damage with Brain Teaser as well, which will be nice. Furious Brain, the more our special attack is raised, which we're going to be maxing out anyway, the more it's going to power up our moves. So again, increasing the damage of our Focus Blast to get as much damage out as possible. Focus Blast move gauge refresh. It is a 3 gauge move, so we're going to make sure we can get that move gauge back to keep pumping out our Focus Blast. Bright as the Sun MP refresh, we're really only picking this up because we don't have enough orbs to get everything else we want and come down here to get super duper effective, just to increase the damage of our Focus Blast if they're weak to fighting. If you want, you could skip over that. If you have the extra orbs, you could just go around and pick up Sync Freebie if you want, and then come this way or something along there. Only because over here is a Sunsteel Strike move gauge refresh. We won't be using that, you know? Alrighty, Honourable Mentions. First up is Sharp Entry 1 will raise the crit rate by 1 stat rank whenever you enter battle. While that does sound really nice, just remember it is 10 energy. And if we have Critical Eye, we're going to be getting that anyway passively when we use Bright as the Sun. I would much rather use that 10 energy to use it on Bright as the Sun MP refresh and risk that. 80% chance to crit with Sunsteel Strike or 50% with your sync move. I'll take those odds. Endurance, while this is really cool, it is so far out of the way, I just don't think it's really worth it. You do have to come down here and go to Metal Claw move gauge refresh, which is completely useless, again, on his kit. And even if you don't go through that, you have to go through all these extra nodes. Endurance is nice, I just don't think it's really worth it. If it was a bit further up, or we could just skip over Metal Claw, then I'd absolutely would pick this up. Power Reserves 5, while it sounds really good and you can give yourself endurance, you do have to build into it and it will take a lot of extra damage away. I would much rather just build into like your Haymaker and even your Furious Brain. While that's only 30%, it's 30% every single time instead of 50% when you're low on health, which if you're hitting that point anyway, you're probably already about to lose, so it's not really an ideal situation. Focus Rush 1 will raise your crit rate by 1 stat rank after using your sync move. This can come in handy, I guess, especially if you're using like a sync nuke build just to max out your crit rate, but by that point, I'd rather just take that 7 energy and put it into the move gauge refresh so that I can use it, get the extra stats back, and then increase my crit rate as well. I'd rather do that than build into going down here, and even if I did that, I'd have to go through Focus Blast. It's just not really worth it. Metal Claw move gauge refresh. I actually completely forgot that Metal Claw was on his kit. Just don't even do it. It's not worth it. And lastly, Bright as the Sun, buy 1, get 1 free 9. This is actually not too bad of an ability to pick up. The only difference is you need to add extra orbs into it. I try and keep it as free to play accessible as possible, but if you have your main character Solgaleo, put in the extra 2 orbs and pick this up. That way you're able to get, once you use your Bright as the Sun, you get a free move next, which means you don't have to worry about having the gauges to max out all of your stats. So it is actually very good to pick up, just can't pick it up in the grid that I've got right now. And that's it for our main character Solgaleo sync grid guide. Thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know down below if I gave you some sync grid ideas, and also let me know down below if there's any ideas that I've missed. I don't think I have though, it's pretty much optimized at this point. As you see, lots of big damage, can max out all of his stats, ignores passive effects that lower the damage of Sunsteel Strike. Don't know why you wouldn't want that. Whenever I need a steel type unit, main character Solgaleo is the first one I pick. Big sync move potential, tech cake on him, beautiful, just chef's kiss. Everything just comes together in a beautiful, harmonious, solar smash. I don't even know what else to really say. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.